I'm sure if we try, we can get Jay hard again.
What's up, horror freaks? I'm your undead horror guide, Boney Stiff, welcoming you back to the Emporium of Dread. Today I got a fantastic tale of demonic possession for you as we dive into the 1980s classic Night of the Demons. Get the popcorn ready, turn the lights low, and brace yourself for some 80s demon-fueled campy greatness. Ah, the 1980s, a golden era for horror fans. It was a decade drenched in neon lights, synthesized soundtracks, and a distinct flavor of campy charm that still captivates us today. Horror in the 1980s wasn't just about scares, it was an art form that balanced the grotesque with the gleefully absurd. From the dreamlike stalking menace of Freddy Krueger in Nightmare on Elm Street to the blood-soaked mayhem of Jason Voorhees, these films carved a lasting mark on our nightmares and our hearts. But it wasn't just the iconic villains that made 80s horror unforgettable, it was the sheer audacity of the stories, the over-the-top special effects, and the characters who felt like they walked right out of a comic book. Who can forget the gory splendor of Evil Dead, or the dark satirical edge of They Live? These movies just didn't scare us, they made us laugh, gasp, and cheer in equal measure. And then there's Night of the Demons, a perfect example of 80s horror magic. It combined the spooky atmosphere of an abandoned funeral parlor and the outrageous antics of a Halloween party gone terribly wrong. Demons, gore, and a soundtrack that just screamed 80s. This film had it all. It's a wild ride that epitomizes the decade's blend of horror and humor, making it a cult classic that's still celebrated by fans today. So let's dive into the madness of Night of the Demons and see why this film remains a shining example of why we love 80s horror. Get ready for a night you'll never forget. Night of the Demons, directed by Kevin S. Tinley and released in 1988, stands as a quintessential piece of 80s horror cinema. It encapsulates the era's fascination with supernatural horror, practical effects, and campy yet engaging narratives.
Stop looking at me.
Over 3 decades later, the film maintains a strong cult following and continues to be a favorite among horror fans alike. In this video, we'll discuss the elements that contribute to this film's cult status, examine the impact of its memorable cast, and analyze its lasting influence on 80s horror.
What, is everybody here on drugs or something?
The 1980s were a golden era for horror, characterized by its proliferation of slasher films, supernatural thrillers, and creature features.
They're here.
Night of the Demons carved out its own niche in this crowded field through a unique blend of horror and dark comedy.
You guys have sour balls?
Why, sure we do.
Too bad. I bet you don't get many blowjobs.
The film's plot, centered around a Halloween party at a haunted funeral parlor that unleashes demonic forces, resonated with audiences looking for a mix of scares and fun.
You did remember to invite some cute boys to the party, I hope.
Of course I did. And we're gonna scare the shit out of them.
Many cult films often derive their status from a combination of critical disdain and audience admiration. While Night of the Demons was not a critical darling upon its release, it found a passionate audience among horror fans who appreciated its over-the-top effects, memorable one-liners, and atmospheric setting.
Oh, there you are. I was just warming my hands in the fire.
The Halloween theme further solidified its place as a seasonal favorite, much like 1978's Halloween, or 2007's Trick or Treat. One of the most compelling aspects of Night of the Demons is its ensemble cast, which brought the film's colorful characters to life.
Hey, how about an orgy?
The cast includes Amelia Kincaid as the sinister Angela, Linnea Quigley as the flirtatious and mischievous Suzanne, and Kathy Podwell as the film's protagonist Judy. Amelia Kincaid's portrayal of Angela is central to the film's appeal. Her transformation from a goth party host to a malevolent demon is both chilling and iconic.
Judy, Roger, where you going? The party's just begun.
Particularly her demonic dance sequence, it's one of the most memorable moments in 80s horror, blending seduction and terror in a way that has left a lasting impression on audiences. Linnea Quigley, already a familiar face in horror due to her roles in films like 1985's Return of the Living Dead,
A bunch of old men to get around me and start biting and eating me alive.
adds to her Scream Queen legacy with a standout performance. Her character Suzanne is involved in one of the film's most infamous scenes, where she applies lipstick in a disturbing and unique way. This scene alone has cemented its status in horror history.
Jesus Christ.
Kathy Podwell's Judy provides a grounded, relatable character amidst the chaos. Her portrayal of the innocent yet resourceful final girl is essential into balancing the film's more outrageous elements. The dynamic between these characters along with the supporting cast creates a compelling narrative that keeps viewers engaged. Night of the Demons emerged during the time when the horror genre was exploring new territories. The late 80s saw a shift from the straightforward slasher films of the early part of the decade to more supernatural and experimental stories. This film exemplifies that shift, combining the familiar tropes of a haunted house story with the visceral thrills of a body horror and a demonic possession. The film's use of practical effects is particularly noteworthy. The 80s were known for pioneering special effects that still hold up today, and Night of the Demons is no exception. The transformation sequences, demonic makeup, and gore effects were all achieved without the aid of modern CGI. Relying instead on the talents of effects artists like Steve Johnson, these practical effects not only contribute to the film's immediate impact, but also to its lasting appeal, as they possess a tangible and gritty quality that CGI often lacks. Moreover, the film's success in the home video market played a significant role in its cult film status. During the 80s and 90s, many horror films found their audience through VHS rentals and late-night cable screenings. Night of the Demons became a staple of these formats, allowing it to reach a broader audience beyond its initial theatrical run. The accessibility of the film on home video ensured that it continued to gain fans over the years. The legacy of Night of the Demons extends beyond its initial release, influencing subsequent horror films and pop culture. The film's blend of horror and humor along with its Halloween setting paved the way for other horror comedies and seasonal horror films. It demonstrated that horror could be both terrifying and entertaining, a balance that many filmmakers have since sought to achieve. The character of Angela in particular has become an iconic horror figure. Her image is frequently referenced in horror retrospectives and Halloween celebrations. Amelia Kincaid reprised her role in the sequels Night of the Demons 2 in 1994 and 1997's Night of the Demons 3, further solidifying Angela's place in the pantheon of horror villains. The character's lasting appeal can be seen in various homages and references in modern horror media. The film also inspired a 2009 remake, which introduced the story to a new generation of horror fans. While the remake received mixed reviews, it underscored the enduring popularity of the original film. The fact that Night of the Demons was considered worthy of a remake decades later speaks to its lasting impact on the genre. For modern audiences, Night of the Demons holds up remarkably well. The film's practical effects, atmospheric setting, and memorable performances ensure that it remains engaging even in an era dominated by CGI and high-budget horror productions.
Shut up and drive, bitch!
Its campy charm and 80s aesthetic offer a nostalgic viewing experience that appeals to both longtime fans and newcomers to the genre. The themes explored in Night of the Demons, such as the consequences of tampering with the supernatural and the battle between good and evil, are timeless.
Concentrate.
Holy shit!
You idiot! It was just starting to work.
These universal themes, combined with the film's distinct 1980s flavor, create a unique viewing experience that continues to resonate with audiences. Additionally, the film's ability to balance genuine scares with moments of dark humor make it accessible to a wide range of horror fans. Whether you're looking for a film that delivers gore and scares, or one that offers a fun, campy ride, Night of the Demons fits the bill. It's this versatility that has helped the film maintain its status as a must-watch. Night of the Demons is more than just a relic of 80s horror. It's a film that encapsulates the spirit of the era, while offering a timeless viewing experience. Its cult status is well-deserved thanks to the memorable cast, impressive practical effects, and enduring influence on the genre. As a fun, frightening, and fantastic entertaining film, Night of the Demons remains a must-watch for horror fans old and new. Its ability to captivate audiences decades after its release is a testament to its quality and the lasting appeal of 1980s horror cinema. Whether you're revisiting this for the umpteenth time or experiencing it for the first time, Night of the Demons promises a hellishly good time. Thank you for joining me on this nostalgic journey through the delightful horror of the 1980s. If Night of the Demons has you craving more campy chills and thrilling spills, you're in the right place. Be sure to like, subscribe, and smash the undead life out of that bell so you never miss an episode. And if you want to keep the conversation going, join the new official Emporium of Dread Facebook group, Boney's Horror Freaks, and share your favorite 80s horror flicks and keep the spooky fun alive. Well, until next time, stay stiff.